Verdadero placer platicar con the Kooks. First of all, it's an honor. Thank you so much for the time this interview.
Thank you very much for having us.
How do you feel being back here in Mexico?
Well, we feel good, man. I mean, we just got in last night, so need to like wind up the brain a bit. But yeah, no, good, man. Thank you. And we're luckily we were here like October last, we've seen quite a lot of Mexico City. It's been great.
Cool. Now talking about your last album, Listen, and talking about the creating process, what could be the biggest challenge about making this album?
The biggest challenge, I don't know. I mean, I think that the whole process of the album we were trying to actually challenge ourselves a bit, make life a bit different, so that we started a lot of the songs with rhythm tracks. We were working with a hip hop producer, so we sort of adopted his way of starting songs, which would be, you start with a beat, a loop, you get some percussion going, maybe put a few chords down, and then I was like writing the lyrics as I was singing them. So I guess, it was great. So I don't see that as a challenge, but it was kind of us trying to challenge ourselves to do something different. So I guess the biggest challenge was probably just letting go, which is kind of life's biggest challenge, I think, generally for people. Just, sometimes you just got to let go and not think too hard.
And talking about the last album, not Listen, but Junk in the Heart, what could it be the biggest lesson that album personally gave it to you?
To enjoy yourself a lot more.
It's important, right?
It was so difficult. I don't know, man. I mean, that was a difficult record for many reasons. Do you know what I mean? I think we'd kind of come to a point, we were having problems with our drummer as well. Yeah. So, that was tough. Do you know what I mean? But I think we made a great record in the end. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. But it really did make it very clear how much fun the fourth one was. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Cool. Now, you were talking about that hip hop influence that you put on that on this album. You worked with Inflo for Listen. How was the experience of working with him?
Yeah, it was great, man. I mean, it was just amazing when we first met, because on paper, it was kind of... I'd written this song, which is Around Town, which ended up on the album, the first song on the album, and I'd written it at home just really basically, and it had this kind of hip-hop feel. And so I was thinking, let's maybe try and get someone in. None of us thought, okay, we're going to get a hip-hop guy to produce the album, particularly. But when we met, we just really clicked, and I think he just brought out a lot of the good stuff from us, and just sort of made us forget about the fact it was our fourth album or anything about the Kooks. I mean, the first thing that he said was kind of like, he was like, firstly, I don't really know your band, I don't really know anything about you guys, and that's kind of, you should act like that. And that was cool, and there's loads of things. I mean, he's a pretty deep guy, and he's an inspiring guy, and all these things, and yeah, so it was just like, it just, the chemistry really worked, and you can't really plan for something like that. And then before we knew it, we had like 20 songs that we'd written together, and we started, and we were in the middle of making an album. It's crazy.
Now, when you're creating an album, there is a different kind of strategy to embrace the recording. One, that you know perfectly what you're gonna do before going to the studio, and the other one is, okay, we've gone to the studio, we know we have a lot of ideas, but we don't pretty sure what is gonna be the final work. Yeah. How was the strategy for this album, for the Kooks?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the majority of it was pretty improvised, and like I was telling you about, especially from a songwriting point of view, I've never ever worked like that, where you're writing songs in the studio. Mainly because it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, it's like write at home, rehearse a bit, then you go and spend the money. But no, it was definitely pretty improvisational. I mean, even you guys, I might have like a few chords and a bit of vocal and some drums, and then Pete would come in and just lay down a bass when he'd not really heard the song. And which is kind of so it was definitely the second or first one where you said so it was like it's spontaneous.
It's spontaneous, but I think that spontaneously it also helps you to enjoy what you're making, right? Because you feel that you can change one thing if you want it, right? It's not like I just not have to just play, but I also can create, right?
I mean, we were capturing a spirit as well, you know what I mean, on the day, and it's going back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, the third record, you know, when you're going over things again and again and again, it sucks the life and soul out of you, man. Before all you want to do is get it done, get out of there, man. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this, you kind of go in and I'd go in with Flo and he'd just be like, play on this, and I was like, well, I don't know the song. And he's like, doesn't matter, just go for it. And then you'd know you were playing something good if he was jumping around the studio. You know what I mean? So you'd be like, cool, man, I'm on a good page here, man. So we keep that going. But yeah, man, but that was, you know, enormous amount of fun. You know, something that I'd never experienced before ever. You know what I mean? And yeah, everybody should make music like that, I think.
Awesome. Now, an amazing single here in Latin America, Forgive and Forget. Tell us the story behind that song.
Forgive and Forget came. I mean, it started out from basically like a little jazz song that I'd written when I think, you know, like I don't know, it was quite somber, you know. And I was recording it in the studio, like in this way, and it was just me and Al, our drummer, and Inflo in the studio at the time, and we were just messing about, and Flo was like, right, try something, and Al just came with this beat, and then it just sort of stemmed from that, really, and then we just wrote this whole other song. And I mean, the kind of basis was us to kind of do a kind of Princey kind of thing. Like we wanted to. The original idea was like we wanted to make something quite dancey and funk, and we achieved that in a way. Yeah, with some rock guitars. Yeah, and it kind of ended up, I guess, a little sort of in excess, sort of primal screamy kind of vibe. But we weren't really trying that. I mean, I guess that's what, you know, it's like when guys like us try and do like proper Prince style funk, that's kind of where you get to. But it was great, and lots of percussion, and the lyrics are just, you know, pretty simple, really. I mean, it's about a breakup. That's about it, really. You know, you can read what you want into it. Yeah.
Cool. Now we're a music video, so I'm gonna ask you about 2 videos in your career and tell me what you remember about it. Start with and the making of the video. Start Shine On.
Shine On, yeah. Remember there being water involved?
yeah, it's like a room with the star.
I haven't seen that video in ages.
Going like with a lot of water. Well, not a lot of water, but yeah,
no, I remember
here.
Being
but the room, it was
freezing.
Really cool.
Huh?
The room and the house were really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool set, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It's a while ago that, man.
Did you get the cold, like a flu after that?
I probably, yeah. I usually do. Quite susceptible. Don't know if you could blame the cold water though. It's probably other things. But no, I was trying to remember it. I mean, I think it's just we worked with a guy called Charles who did like 3 videos with us, and we had like a really great relationship with him. You know, we did Do You Wanna, and we did Ula with him. And Ula was a really special video that we made. That was quite an exceptional video, I think, for us. And Shine On. I just remember it being just water, splashing in water, trying not to get my guitar wet, getting flu.
Yeah. And the other one, She Moving Her Own Way. You choose Mexico to do that.
Flipping heck, yeah. Yeah, that was, the director, Diane. She, her whole thing was just to get us drunk, as drunk as possible. No, that was her premise, right? And what was funny is I remember watching it back and thinking we all looked like real nice boys, and we're just like, but we were just on a mad one. We were basically on a road trip. I must say though. You know, it's quite sad actually going down there, because we went down to what's it called? Tijuana.
Oh, Tijuana,
Sorry,
yeah, of course.
my brain.
No.
Told you I'm jet lagged. Tijuana, yeah, which is quite. I mean, it's interesting because people say like when they think you're American, it's like this whole thing, and then when they know you're British, they're like, oh mate, you know, go, like you're English. But it's quite sad, you know. There's a lot of prostitution and stuff, and like to be honest, like it was kind of a bit mad. I mean, obviously we were trying to, I guess, pick some of that sort of edginess up for the video, because I guess the premise in her head was sort of about, you know, the song being about a girl and letting her do her thing, and you're trying to get her out of a situation or something like that. But for us, we were like 19. We were like, oh my God, what's going on here? And, so yeah, it was
the hangover next
crazy.
day, nice.
And yeah, oh man, I think it went on for a few days, man. Jeez, but it was fun, you know. And then we got to see some other nice places, and it was a good fun couple of days, man.
Now the last question. I don't know if you have the opportunity to watch the movie Whiplash. Do you watch Whiplash?
You seen that?
I've not.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Drummers hate that film.
Yeah, I wanted the opinion of a musician about that movie, but okay, you have to watch it. I think it's a good movie. Last question: how can you describe a Mexican crowd?
Mexican crowd, bonkers.
Nice.
Yeah, good, really good. I mean, we always get quite astounded over here. I think, you know, people are pretty free and liberal with their vibe at festivals here, and all over Latin America. We were just talking about it. It's always like the energy that you get when you're on stage. It's not really like anywhere else. It's kind of cool. It's electric and it's kind of wild. You know, it's really cool.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for the time this interview.
Thank you.